Hi, great to see you. Frank McLaughlin here. And hard to believe, but tax season is already fully in swing for all of us. And a lot of the families that I work with have been looking for either ways to hopefully reduce taxes kind of at the last minute for 2020, and then also looking ahead. What can they do in 2021 to reduce taxes this year? And so I wanted to put together a presentation that gives 9 strategies to disinherit Uncle Sam from your portfolio, or in other words, legally pay less in taxes and have more in your pocket, more for you and your family at the end of the day. So let's go ahead and get into it here. So the first strategy is called tax loss harvesting. Now, you should either now or in the future have different types of investment accounts. There's retirement accounts and non-retirement accounts. This falls in that non-retirement bucket. It would include a joint account, a brokerage, sometimes just a taxable account. They have different names, but it's a type of account where when you place sells or to withdraw funds from that account, you pay, and you either have a capital gains that you need to pay, or sometimes there's a capital loss. Now, with tax loss harvesting, what you're doing is making lemonade out of lemons, and you're strategically selling funds at a loss, usually during a sharp decline, such as what we saw in March and April of 2020 with the stock market. And so placing that sell intentionally to lock in or realize a capital loss, there's 2 points here. So one, ideally you would reinvest in another fund, a similar fund, immediately afterwards, so that you can hopefully capture the upswing or the upside potential when that happens. But when you're locking in that loss, it's really for the purposes of the IRS or for tax purposes, because then you can use that loss later in the year to offset some of the capital gains that your account may have built up over the years. And you can also use a small portion to offset income for that year. So it can be very powerful. Moving into our next strategy here, and this is for years that maybe you have a lower taxable income. Maybe you took a sabbatical, maybe you recently retired, maybe either you or your spouse are staying home, taking a year off work to take care of a child. But either way, whatever situation you're in, if you have lower taxable income, you can do the opposite of the strategy we just mentioned, which is tax gain harvesting. So if your income is low enough, you can actually realize a certain amount of gains without paying any taxes on it. So you want to be very strategic with that and always look out for that opportunity. And then the idea of Roth conversions, which are extremely complex but a wonderful tool for moving funds. Now this deals with the retirement accounts, moving funds from a traditional retirement account like an IRA into a Roth. And you're strategically paying the taxes, hopefully when you're in a lower taxable income year, a lower tax bracket, as opposed to waiting when you have to withdraw funds from that traditional retirement account and paying taxes at a higher tax bracket. So they can be very complex, something you don't just want to go into without doing your research, talk to an expert, but can lead to huge savings over your lifetime. And it's very much tied into my next point here, which is taking advantage of tax smart future distributions. Roth accounts can be wonderful because any growth that they receive, as long as you follow the rules, gets to be tax-free to you. A very powerful tool for retirement. And if you make over a certain income, you may not be able to contribute directly to a Roth, but you can contribute to what's called a backdoor Roth, another way to get funds into that bucket that grows tax-free. So these strategies aren't for everyone. You want to consult an expert before going forward with any of these, but just wanted to get in front of them. Please reach out if you have any questions.